Hey guys, Yishan with the UU Club at UCI, back once again with another deck profile. I got first place at the locals with the Golden Castle, Gren Maju build. It's been a rough time last format because the Skystriker Orchestra deck was just immensely powerful and basically unbeatable. But I went to a new local. Spiral is everywhere. I actually didn't play a single Spiral, so take that as a disclaimer because I didn't play a single Spiral. However, this deck has a good matchup against most decks in the meta right now, especially with the way I'm building it. Spiral, I would probably admit, is probably a little tough. I have not looked into that matchup too much, especially with it being so popular. However, at a local level where there's less Spiral, although even at my locals, there are lots of Spirals now. It seems like everyone can afford Magician's Soul. It's crazy. Even at my locals, there's a lot of Spirals. Definitely, I'll talk about the Spiral matchup a little bit, but I guess I'm not the best person to ask at this moment about the Spiral matchup. Haven't really played it that much, so we'll have to see. I'll go with the deck. I'd probably make a few changes if I had different cards, also how the meta is shaping up, but let's just go with my deck, and I'll tell you a little bit of the theory. 3 Gren Maju. You know you're having a good day when you're drawing Gren Maju at the right time. That's pretty much the hallmark of every Gren Maju player is you have this at the right time when you need it, and you don't have it when you don't, right? And so this card just wins games. I OTK'd a few people yesterday with it. And so he's great to have when you need him. Your opponent makes a suboptimal play one turn or doesn't end on a great board, boom, you kill him. This deck doesn't kill as much with Gren Maju as the Danger variant, but still very important to have, in my opinion, because there are moments when this is your only card that you can win and you need it to win, and thank you Konami for printing him hollow. God bless your souls, because I know a lot of other decks or a lot of other fan bases sometimes just don't get the hollow reprints they want. So I'm very, very thankful for them printing Gren Maju hollow. Maybe I had a little something to do with it. I don't know, but I'm very thankful nonetheless. Triple Gizmek. This is in every single Gren Maju decks. I mean, I've seen some stun builds run too, but this card is just absolutely insane. So gotta run 3 of that, of course. Still going with the dangers, so triple Bigfoot, triple Thunderbird. Basically, also another hallmark of a Gren Maju player, their dangers are hitting at the right time. So yesterday I had very good luck with dangers. That's how a lot of reason why I sort of managed to get first. So I think, some days you're just hitting the dangers really well and some days you're not. And yesterday was one of those days. So yeah. This is not the pure danger version, so you just run those. It's not really good to run any of the other ones. Triple Eater of Millions. I mean, just fantastic with Gren Maju. They're best friends. This is really how you kill quickly. Drawing those two in combo, in tandem, is just how you kill quickly. I've seen some technology being run. Actually, I'll talk about this card later. We'll talk about it in the extra deck, but just remember Eater of Millions for a second and how it's a fiend, and Gren Maju is also a fiend. We'll talk about some technology in the side deck that I've been reading the Gren Maju chat. A few of my friends are even, or not the chat, the Facebook group. A few of my friends are even picking up Gren, and so I'm actually learning, even though I sort of started this deck. I'm learning a lot from the people that are also playing this deck, which I think is pretty cool. I had my little moment where the deck was mine for a little bit, but now it's really part of the Yu-Gi-Oh community now, and so I'm actually learning a lot from people that play the deck as well, which I think that's really cool. That's awesome, actually. I played Triple Ash for the tournament. It was good in the matchups I played it in because, it's Ash Blossom, and if you're playing a lot of Rogue, Ash Blossom is great. However, going forward, I may replace it with copies of Evenly Matched right now because Evenly is so good to help with the Spiral matchup. I've heard this card is just pretty bad in the Spiral matchup, so I am leaning towards playing Evenly at this moment, but Ash was good for the tournament, so maybe replace it with an Evenly or something, I don't know. But it was good for the tournament. I don't usually play hand traps, but it worked out. Like I said, if you get first at a tournament, sometimes it's just your day. We got 1 Pankratops. Limited, I don't know why, but Konami, if it was not limited, I'd be playing 3 of it, but it is. So we have to deal with Konami. But I sort of understand why they limited it, but not really. So One Pankratops, it's still very good when you draw it. So yeah, double Hextrude. If you're playing the castles, you know, you got to go with this package, right? I cut out the terraforming. I noticed a lot of people cut out the terraforming. A lot of people cut Glaive too, which I don't like. I've tried that as well. I think I was wrong to play the terraforming. It's just too much castle. So I admit my fault in that. I probably just because I had an ultimate rare one, I wanted to play the terraforming, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's not right to play terraform because it's actually just not a useful card if you don't want to search a castle. Glaive, however, is useful in the deck because sometimes you just need to summon something, anything off the castle. Doesn't have to be a Hextrude, just anything. And so I think having the extra target as well as doubling as a searcher, pretty important. I like this ratio right now, and so I think it's pretty good. I do think, and that's something a lot of people taught me, was they experimented with the ratios, and a lot of people start cutting terraforming, so I tried it too, and I have to agree with them. So I played only one Lightning Storm. You say, why'd you only play one Lightning Storm? Well, the reason is because I didn't have three. I'd play 3 Lightning Storm. And in its place, I played two evenly. It was fine. Honestly, these cards weren't that great all day because I wasn't playing against Spiral or... I mean, I drew this card twice. I only played one of it, so that's kind of expected. But it was really bad once against Orcus and very, very good against Altergeist. I mean, that's sort of expected, right, in those matchups. So, I mean, this just blows out, like 3-for-1 Altergeist player. Evenly is great against Altergeist. So these sort of chipped in. I didn't play against any Spiral, right? So I didn't know how good this card performed. But yeah, so for the rest of the spell and traps, which I only played spells, I played 3 Desires, 1 Foolish. Now this one's an interesting one because another card that's completely useless if you already have a Gizmek. I mean, sometimes it's okay to have 2 Gizmeks because you can use, you can sort of do one on your turn, one on your opponent's turn. But like, I'm still a little iffy on this card. I might cut it to see how it feels, but it performed fine yesterday. It just really sucks to draw this same with like Terraforming when you don't have it. It's really tough. It's tough to say, really tough to say. If you're playing like the Math Mech version to make Final Sigma, which I don't think is that great, to be honest, but if you are, it's probably worth to play this because you can Foolish the Math Mech as well. But this one, I'll admit, this is one of the first cards on the chopping block, and so I might consider removing it. But alas, I am not sure because Gizmek is so broken. So another card it's being looked at. It's being kept under close observation. 1 Monster Reborn. It's very, very good in this deck, so I like it. And then I have triple Super Poly. There's not much to say about this card. It's just fantastic. Just fantastic. And the triple Call by the Grave. I believe in Call by the Grave in the Castle version because it's, you stop a hand trap. Actually, honestly, sometimes it's just good as just a defensive tool and an offensive tool, and that's what I really like about this card. Like, for example, is this really good against Spiral? Probably not. You might take it out against Spiral, but it has a lot of utility, which I really like. It's a very flexible card, and flexibility is extremely important. Call by the Grave was just doing really, really well yesterday as being both a offensive card to sort of push plays through and a defensive card. And I think also a lot of my success sometimes is tied to this card, because if you just draw this card and it's not useful, you're like, man, why am I even playing this? So it was pretty useful. I think you need to run it, but it's a close call. But some days it's just really good, and some days it's not so good. And I think yesterday it was very good. And so I also have 3 shiny versions, so why not, right? Extra deck. Let's talk about the extra deck first before we get into the side deck. There are some few changes I'm going to be making to the extra deck. I play the Galaxy Eyes package. It's still good. It doesn't come up too often, but when it does, it's the only thing in the game that can save you from a situation or help you win that game. And so it's very important, but it doesn't come up too often. All these guys, these are the best rank 8s. You should play all 4 of these in every single Gren Maju rank 8 deck. I didn't play this one for a while, and I was wrong about it. It comes up a lot. The rest of these are pretty, yeah, they do come up all the time, and so I would definitely say play Lancelot. I was wrong about that. Someone else discovered that. Again, see, another thing I didn't discover about the deck. It's kind of cool. I learned that from the community. And then the fusions, I should probably change some of these up. So these I think are still worth playing, these 4, because this is level 8, so it's good. This is the best one. This is like random, but it like comes up sometimes, so it's still worth it. This one is very good still because it's a negate on legs as well. The fusion I don't think is worth playing is the Triff Gaming one. It's just not that great. It might be worth it in Master Rule 5, but even then, it's like you're getting a little greedy asking for 3 darks right now, so I don't think it's worth it. A lot of people I've seen are playing Royal Chalice, Guardian Armaduke for the Spiral Mirror match, or Spiral matchup, which I think is actually fine. I'd probably play this. Tough to say. The problem is this doesn't get rid of Sleeper, and there's no good super poly targets for Sleeper. I looked. Second one, people are playing a Cyber's target. I would not play Diplexer Chimera, actually. I'd play, there's this new Ad Ignister one that's just a little bit better. It's got more attack. Unfortunately, it's level 7. If it was level 8, it'd be a shoo-in for this deck. I could just cut this card and never have to worry about that again, but it's level 7. Come on, Konami. So I would say this is on the chopping block. I don't run Nibiru in the side, so Nightmare Cerberus is also on the chopping block. I just haven't summoned this in like so many games. Like it almost never ever comes up. But I don't know. So I would say Triff Gaming is on the chopping block first. This one is probably second. And then these two, I summon Phoenix, you know, pretty often, and then Unicorn is pretty rare as well. So it could, I don't like cutting Unicorn, but it's possible that you would want to cut it, but it is unlikely. I will digress, but it does sometimes come up. So these two would be the first on the chopping block. Probably replace them with this and some other fusion. That'll probably be fine. So that's my thoughts for the extra deck. Now, I was also talking about Eater of Millions. I've seen, my friend actually was recently playing Link Karibo as a way to get Eater and Gran at the same time on the field under TC Boo, which has happened to me, actually. Once in a blue moon, that does happen to me. Just a thought. So, yeah, just a thought. But it is an interesting one. Is it worth playing Link Karibo? Probably not, to be honest. But it is a thought. So yeah, probably play like I said, not Dixblur, because there's a lot of random Cybers crap running around. Just run the new Ad Ignister one. It's probably a little better. Side deck. So, okay, the big question about the side deck is, should I run Droll? I did not run Droll. I instead played triple Lava Golem. Now, why did I play Lava Golem? Well, okay, so the thing about Droll is, if you're going to side it, you need to OTK. Now, if I was playing the Danger version of this deck, 100% I would play Droll, because that deck OTKs much more consistently. However, I find the Castle version is better, a little bit better in terms of playing with like 1 or 2 cards, because Castle can just generate itself, whereas if you only have 2 cards in your hand, the Dangers can be pretty bad. So like, that was my theories. Okay, if I'm playing in Spiral, right, this breaks the full board. I don't want to play Sphere mode, because then I can't use Castle. However, you can't normal summon restriction. You can still use Castle. So that's really important, because you're like, oh, okay, I can still Castle. So you can still Castle after you Lava Golem, which is why I like it in the Golden Castle version. It also breaks the full Spiral board, and you can draw as your 6th card. So you just hit Appaloosa Sleeper, and then their Tri-Gate is turned off, and then you just break their board, and hopefully you win from there. That's a good time to use your Galaxy Eyes package to just clear everything. Okay, so that's my way to believe in Lava Golem. I ran 2 Mind Control. I set it in, but I never really saw it. This card is just totally bonkers if it works. But especially if I'm not playing the Danger version, there's a lot less just random Link material lying around on the board. This is not as strong. I am seeing some people play some Iron Knight and Iron Hands, whatever. So basically it's a rank 4 combo, but you can't banish any of the pieces. And there are also bricks in your hand, so I've seen some people try that. Might not be worth it. I could just play Droll in this spot as well, but it was Mind Control for the day, and I didn't really see it. I got 1 red reboot. It's limited, and I didn't play this card originally, but as I more and more look at it, this card is just insane. Again, another good reason to run the Galaxy Eyes package, because if you can't kill, Red Reboot really sucks. However, if you can just blow up their entire board, then it doesn't really matter. So that's that. And then I got triple twin. I sided it in against the Alter Guys, but I didn't really see it. I have so much back removal. And then the TC Boo, this is a classic. I'm glad I figured this one out, because this one is just straight bonkers. And this is another one I've seen and I really like, is triple summon limit. It's just one of the best floodgates. Honestly, you flip this and most decks just cannot do anything. It's not like TC Boo where sometimes they can sneak their way into an out, although I will say TC Boo is probably better than Summon Limit. Actually, okay, not probably. It is better than Summon Limit, but I like having 6 floodgates. What can I say? When I just side in 6 floodgates, there's such a higher chance that I'll draw one. Boom, I flip them up, and my opponent's like, what the hell just happened to me? And then this deck actually can operate under 2 summons, right? And so it's pretty good. And then I play Nibiru token because I don't have Nibiru, but you might as well maybe try to get some people to think you have Nibiru, right? So that's that. Yeah, so in conclusion, really interesting day. I will try the triple lightning storm as a sort of a way to maybe beat Spiral, have a chance against Spiral. I don't know. You could try the World Chalice fusion. Might be worth it, who knows, but they always end on sleeper, so like the prom is sleeper, not really the freaking, I mean, Applus is annoying, but not really as much in this deck. Hurts the danger deck a little more. So anyway, that's the build. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.